Can the last seen theory alone secure a murder conviction? Does registration by itself prove the validity of a will? Can a family court refuse to recognize an undisputed divorce merely because the talaq was pronounced privately? Let's decode some of the most significant judicial pronouncements delivered this week. On 3rd July 2026, in State of Gujarat versus Jagdish Hirabhai Malam, the Gujarat High Court considered a prosecution alleging the murder of a 10-year-old boy over a family property dispute, relying primarily on the last seen theory and an extra-judicial confession. Upholding the acquittal, the court held that the prosecution failed to establish a complete claim of circumstantial evidence. It reiterated that mere last seen evidence or an unreliable extra-judicial confession cannot sustain a conviction unless guilt is proved beyond reasonable doubt. On 6 July 2026, in Sardari Lal versus Bishan Das and others, the Supreme Court reaffirmed a crucial principle of succession law. A registered will does not carry a presumption of validity. The dispute arose after a husband allegedly disinherited his widow through a registered will, finding unexplained alterations, doubtful, attesting witnesses, and other suspicious circumstances surrounding its execution. The court held that the propounder of the will must dispel every legitimate suspicion. As this burden remained undischarged, the Supreme Court declared the will unreliable and upheld the widow's right to inherit the estate. On 8 July 2026, in Shabana Bano versus State of Uttar Pradesh, the Allahabad High Court held that a family court cannot refuse to recognize a divorce merely because the talaq was pronounced privately. Since both husband and wife admitted that a valid divorce had already taken place under Muslim personal law and there was no dispute between them, the court directed that their marital status be formally recognized, reaffirming that court should not compel parties to undergo unnecessary litigation when the fact of divorce is undisputed. Those were this week's key judicial developments. Stay tuned with Law Times for more such legal updates. Thank you.